Sir is the best thing I've seen this year. It's very understated in its approach of storytelling. There aren't really any big, grandiose moments or loud outbursts of emotions to get its points across. It trusts its audience to pick up on the little things, like how small and cramped Ratna's room is compared to the rest of the apartment, her having to take her bracelets off every time she travels home, the way she always had to ask permission to go for her tailoring lessons even though she's technically free in the afternoon. It's a very rich and layered look at the rich man, poor woman romance trope. Love is great and all, but that love won't exist in a vacuum. You have friends and family and society who will be very judgmental. The judgment will be much harsher on the woman and will come from both sides. The rich people will condescend and always make her feel not enough, and then the poor people will see her as a gold digger. It will be quite simplistic to wonder why Ratna won't just accept her boss's feelings and live a good life, get educated, and so on. The movie does a great job showing why it's a huge leap for her to do that. Which is why at the end, when she says his name, Ashwin, the feels. Oh, the feels. More Than Words is the series that has affected me the most this year. It left me with feelings of emptiness and loss. Each time I rewatch it so I could resolve my feelings towards it, things just seemed sadder. Especially the first half, considering how bright and full of joy and how there was so much potential for happiness in the future. The way our trio ends up is just heartbreaking. There are positives to their lives as adults, but the downsides are numerous. The loss of a friendship, the loss of a romantic partner, the loss of family, because I can't imagine AG is happy with his father considering how things turned out. Heartbreaking as it is, I would still recommend it because it's such a good series. In order to enjoy revenged love, you must first not just suspend disbelief, but assassinate disbelief. You have to take logic and throw it far, far away, and just become invested in the feelings the series is throwing at you. This series is all about the feels. Once you can do that, this series is like crack. Usoe and Chi-chung's shenanigans are so fun to watch. Trying to seduce your ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend is crazy work. Being surprised when he seems receptive to your seduction and actively starts romancing you is crazier. This series was a crying fest. I knew the end was coming, but it still hit me hard. The best part of this series is its portrayal of melancholy, the heavy, looming presence of it in the lives of all the characters. Scenes of Taum with her father, Taum with her friend, and eventually Taum with Cheha are heartbreaking because there's so much left unsaid but still heavy in the air. There's almost no crying, but the sadness and impending grief is ever present. All of the characters are beautifully written, especially Chae So-young. They could have easily fallen into the pit of the second female lead bad, but they didn't. They kept her human and not perfect, but still with her good points. I loved that. The Next Prince is a great and well-written story.
That is funny.
I loved Resident Playbook. It's currently my favorite K-drama of the year. It's also my most rewatched. I loved the budding friendship between our four main characters. I loved all the cases and patients that were highlighted. I loved the relationship between Eyoung's sister and her husband. The way they resolved her trying to have a child was just beautiful. Finally, I loved the romance. I loved Kudo-won. Him being a pushover when matters concern him, but being able to stand up for and defend others is just...
Sorry for the laugh.
But having Young standing up for him and her being so open about her feelings and being the pursuer is chef's kiss. Finally, and I might be in the minority for saying this, but I didn't like the many cameos of characters from Hospital Playlist. The series was fine on its own. 2 or 3 cameos would have been just fine. Gel Boys gives some of the most perfectly tonally correct depictions of teenage love I have ever seen, especially because it isn't judgmental in its portrayal. When our leads make mistakes or do hurtful things, the series isn't condescending, but rather quite empathetic to their feelings. These are the qualities that makes the series so grounded and relatable. Fomod being irresistibly drawn to Xian and being unable to move on even after finding out Xian likes Boa. Xian being indecisive, holding out hope that Boa will love him while stringing along Fomod. Boa being open about not reciprocating Xian's feelings, but still giving him little itty bits of hope just to keep him around. And Babin. Oh, my baby Babin! Being in love with his friend Fomod but having to keep his feelings to himself.
Poor unfortunate soul.
All of the characters are beautifully flawed, and that's really what makes them so charming. It's a 10 out of 10 for me.